Please, please. Please, please. Don't get up. Don't get up. It's all right. How are you tonight? Shalom. Well, the uniform still fits. You know why it fits? It's not the same uniform. That's why it fits. I'm not a doctor, but I played one on TV. I mean, can you imagine having that job that I had on Love Boat where I could say to any woman I found attractive, take your clothes off, I'll be right in. I think what qualified me to be the doctor on Love Boat was begging and pleading, supplicating. I said, please, Mr. Spelling, I'll do anything. Just let me play it. No, I tested for it. And I had this lovely nautical jacket. It was a nautical blazer. And I tested in that blazer, and I said, I think I've done pretty decent job. And as I'm coming out, some guy had no idea what I was doing there. He said, excuse me, I'm going to be auditioning for the doctor. Can I use that? Can I use that? And I said, no. Doctors as we are there any doctors here? Doctors? Yeah, there are doctors. Okay, then this does not pertain to you, Lenny. Okay, doctors, as we know, are the greatest humanitarians in the world. A pregnant woman, very upset, comes into a doctor's office. Doctor, my water broke. What should I do? He says, get off my carpet. You know, maybe it's because of the way we treat doctors with such deference or such adoration. Maybe that's the reason they get a distorted sense of entitlement. Not all doctors, just some doctors. Chutzpah, we call it. This amazingly proficient doctor in Beverly Hills. By the way, people in Beverly Hills are so rich. They took up a collection for this family that only had one pool. This guy decided it to be a lovely idea to have an affair with a married woman in Beverly Hills. Well, they get together about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they felt safe because the husband never came home till about 7 or 8 at night. So one afternoon, they're having a lovely roll in the hay, and they hear the husband's car come up the driveway, and the wife says, oh, God, what are we going to do? The doctor says, you just stay calm. I'll take care of this. You just stay in bed, keep the covers up to here, pretend you're asleep. And he zips into his clothes as fast as he can, runs into the corner, gets his little black bag, and just as the husband is coming into the bedroom, he says, how do you do, sir? My name is Dr. Fareed. Your wife passed out in the market. Luckily, I was there. As you can see, she's resting comfortably. I've given her a mild sedative. Now, I don't ordinarily make house calls, but under the circumstances, I felt obliged. So that'll be $250, please. So the husband got twice. Oh, my favorite episode was working with Juliet Prowse. Juliet Prowse with the most stunning, gorgeous legs on the face of the earth, and we had scenes in bed together. And I was really intimidated because I know she'd gone with Sinatra, and I said, oh no, we have these scenes in bed, and will I be able to speak? Will my hairpiece fall off? I was wearing a hairpiece then. Will I faint? I don't know. Now, just before the scene, I mean, it's hard enough to do this with 70 guys looking around. She says, you know, Charles Boyer had a scene like this, a very sexy scene, and just before the scene, he said to his leading lady, if perchance how should I say, if I get aroused, forgive me, please. And if possibly I don't get aroused, forgive me, please. I'm sure you're all covered with medical insurance. Is that true? Now, your medical insurance is very much like those hospital gowns they give you that open in the back. You just think you're covered. I've got some wonderful news for you. People are living longer than ever before. My mommy in Fort Lauderdale is 97 years old. Yeah. She's not 97 yet. She's going to be 97 actually in 2 days, April 4th. And her kid brother is only 91. And you'll be happy to know that the Department of Motor Vehicles, through its infinite wisdom, has just issued him a 6-year extension on his license. Tony Soprano has an accountant who's deaf and dumb. And Tony's very happy with the way things are going till he examines the books himself and he realizes he's $2 million short. He sends his goons to bring in this accountant along with the accountant's brother, who can translate the sign language. So Tony says to the brother, would you mind asking your darling brother, where's my $2 million? And this is translated through the brother to the accountant. And the accountant translates back, I have no idea what you're talking about. Tony grabs a gun, holds it to the accountant's neck, and he says, listen, you little weasel, you tell me where my $2 million is or I'm gonna blow your brains out. This is translated to the quaking accountant. And he translates back to his brother, okay, the $2 million is in 3 shoeboxes in my closet at home. Tony says, what did your brother say? The brother says, he says, you don't have the guts to blow his brains out. On a personal note, my wife and I have been blessed with 2 amazing young sons. Adam is now 10 years old and Joshie is 5 years old. You know, I never understand why it gets that reaction. The whole thing took me 2 minutes. Anyway, I was 64 before my first kid was born, and I had no experience in this area. So I read all the books, speak to the child as you would speak to an adult, don't talk down to the kid, and be gentle. So what is the first thing in the newspaper that somebody my age opens up? Thank you, the obituaries. I'm reading the obituaries one morning, and little Joshie, the 5-year-old, comes in, and he says, what are you reading, Daddy? And I said, I'm reading the obituaries. He said, what's that? I said, well, it's a list of people who have died. And he got a very serious look on his face, and he said, Daddy, does God ever die? Okay, speak to the kid as an adult. I said, no, sweetheart, God is eternal. And he said, God is a turtle? So the philosophy is going to have to wait a few years with the kid. Katrina had just shown the kids Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, and I walked in, and she says, okay, let's do a little quiz. What is the name of the character that Daddy played on Love Boat that was like one of the 7 Dwarfs? Was it Sneezy? No. Was it bashful? No. Was it grumpy? And the kids couldn't think about it. She says, okay, the name of the character starts with a D. Dopey! And the kids come back from school with kid jokes. Do you want to hear a kid joke? Why did the little French boy put dynamite under the kitchen floor? You want to know why? Because he wanted to see linoleum blown apart. When Adam was getting out of his diapers, okay, be gentle with the child. He went to the toilet the very first time, and everything was all over the place. So okay, be gentle. I said, sweetheart, this really works best if you approach the bowl and if you point where you want everything to go, and everything will go right in the bowl. He says, point. Okay, Daddy. Well, the next time he did this. People have said that, you know, once you get married and have kids, somehow the romance sort of flies out of the marriage. And I poo-pooed them. I said, poo-poo. But, I mean, to a very large measure, it's true. I was lying next to Katrina the other night, and just, you know, after working and taking the kids to school, bringing them back from school, taking them to tennis lessons, soccer lessons, karate lessons, dancing lessons, doing your disciplining. At the end of the day, there's nothing left. And I was lying there thinking, boy, it's been a long time between snuggles. And then I felt a hand sort of glance by my forearm. I said, Then I felt her hand sort of glance by my shoulder, and I said, ooh. And then her hand sort of glanced by my thigh, and I said, oh. And then she stopped. I said, hey, why are you stopping? She said, stopping what? I found the remote. Nobody admits snoring. And when you're snoring, you're asleep and you don't realize it. I don't know. Katrina, do I snore? You want to take more time to think over your answer? I should have got that prenup signed. Never mind. In conclusion, when Adam was born, I was out of my mind with joy and gratitude, and I'd insist on going to the supermarket and getting the Huggies and the Pampers, and of course you mommies know what that is. And I'd get to the checker, and just about every time the checker would say, isn't that sweet? You're getting these for your grandchild. I said, no, this is for my son. So I was telling this to some of my wise guy tennis buddies, and one of the guys says, hey, look, at your age, just be grateful they don't think they're for you. Thank you so much. You've been delicious. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.